Oh, welcome back. Today I've got a RedMax backpack blower. Got off the curb, driving around, found it. Somebody was just tossing it out. Don't know nothing about it, obviously. But I know RedMax is a pretty good big name. Well known, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Husqvarna makes RedMax, or at least it's a clone of Husqvarna. But I do know the RedMax brand of stuff is a sought after brand. A little bit of damage on this guy. The guy's broke right there. Very faded and worn. But yeah. Hey, free, right? Figure we go ahead and get this thing going. I'm not gonna do too much. Let's see if we got any kind of spark. I'm not gonna go ahead and plugs tight in there, so air filter definitely not good. I'm gonna just dump some two-stroke down the throat of the carb here, the intake. This is kind of a weird arrangement, but again, I've never had a backpack blower. But anyway, I'm going to set you up. We'll throw some two-stroke down in the throat here. Hopefully it's got enough to suck it up in there. I don't like using carb cleaner, starting fluid, whatever on two-stroke. I mean, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to run that long, but still, two-stroke stuff needs that oil for lubrication. You don't want to mar up your rings or anything like that. But anyway, let's go ahead and I'll get you set up. I'm not even gonna bother just looking at these lines, putting fuel in the tank. But we'll see if it fires over. That'll tell us if we got good spark, good compression, or at least good enough, I guess I should say. And then we'll get her up on the bench and go from there. See what kind of repairs we need to make. So let me get you set up quick, and I'll grab some mix and we'll see what we got. Choke, no choke. Let me grab some carb cleaner. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I think I flooded it the first time with the dumping the two-stroke down there. That wasn't very controlled coming out of that bottle. But ooh-wee, that was a workout though, I'll tell you what. But cool, that ran actually sounded really good. So let's get it up on the workbench And I'm going to see if I can take that hose off right quick, just for ease. Don't have that whole tube, you know, hanging out, flopping around. But yeah, let's get you back up on the workbench here and start cleaning some carburetors and changing plugs and fuel lines. Yeah, a little wet now, but overall, a little rusty, I guess. It's definitely old, definitely going to get replaced. They had an NGK, was a BPM8Y. But yeah, plug wire feels good. It's a little stiff, but it's not like cracking and crazing, so that's good. Let's see. Oh, come on. Get the throttle cable out of there. So that's good. Moves freely through the, from the trigger to here. It's no binding, no hang up, so that's good on that. Well, there's the choke right there. Just a little lever. Oh, yeah, I never, like I said, I've never worked on the RedMax or one of these, so I'm used to, you know, the bigger choke levers like you're used to seeing. Like a lot of people are used to seeing. I'm sure somebody's seen this. Okay. Let's see, can we take that off? Loosen up the jam nut on that, and that guy comes right out. Well, yeah, those fuel lines are rigid and stuck on. In fact, here, this one here is totally broke. Tell you what, we're just breaking this one too off, because that way too then we can tell or remember just exactly which one went to where. Oh wow, if you can see that or not. Just cutting that fuel line, it's holding its shape. Not even rebounding back. and primer bulb. Solid as a rock. Not in the good way. So, trash. Can y'all see down here? Tell you what, I'm going to get my ultrasonic fired up, start heating up, get that going, and then we'll come back and we'll do these lines. I will tell you, might as well go ahead and tell you now, I guess. I'm cheating on this one. I went ahead and ordered an entire kit. Carb, air filter, fuel lines, spark plug. We'll have to see what brand, what type of spark plug they sent. But some of them are great, some of them aren't. If not, we'll clean up this one and reuse it, because it looks pretty bad, but this definitely can clean up easy enough too. And it worked, obviously. But let me get some water heating up in the ultrasonic. I'm not going to clean the carburetor right now, because like I said, I got a kit with the whole thing. Point being, that air filter itself was going to be like 15 bucks. I got the whole kit for 18. So anyway, fuel lines, air filter, even if the carburetor doesn't work that we throw on there, I still made out better with just going with the fuel lines, the grommet, fuel filter, air filter, all that sort. So let me get the ultrasonic going, because we'll clean some of this other up. We'll have to clean up this fuel tank too. We'll have to take that off, and I'll bring it back when we go to do the fuel lines. All right, I went ahead and took the tank off. It's just held in by 2 screws on the bottom. Made it a lot easier. Hopefully that air compressor in the background isn't too loud for you. But I'll go ahead and take this grommet out. Maybe. Not too worried about damaging it, obviously, because we got a whole new one. Very gummy up here. There we go. Oh yeah, that thing wouldn't have ran. I guess it would have. That's... Would you look at that? I don't know if that's plastic. Almost like a cellophane plastic. I don't know if that was supposed to be tape or what. Look at the crud coming off the filter here. It's cracked, broke. So yeah. So that's your pickup line. This is your return line. Your pickup, obviously, fuel line. This is the return. There's the keeper for the cap. So that's junk. Not needed, but keeps you from losing your cap. Drop it in the grass or something like that and not be able to find it. Oh heck, there's 2 of them in here. That broke as I was pulling it out. Yeah, evidently they've had problems with this in the past. Okay, there's a little bit of residual fuel, mostly oil, because the fuel's evaporated out. It's real thick. All that's left is the oil. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. Off camera, I'm going to clean a little bit of the base where this thing goes on the backpack blower, backpack itself. Clean that up, clean this tank up, and I'll be right back. Alright, got tank cleaned up as best I could. This stuff here was sticky and gummy, but you know what? Nobody's going to know the difference because it looks a lot better than it did. Inside the tank is clean. That's what's important. I noticed something while I was comparing parts here. The grommet they gave to go with this does not, it fits, but it doesn't fit at all. It's a very loose fit. So, as much as I hate to do it, as hard as this one is, it's not cracked or anything, but it was fitting in there nice and solid. We're going to reuse the old grommet, put the new lines in here, and it'll be what it is. So, take that guy out. See if we can get this fed through. Cut this on a diagonal helps fish in there a little bit better. Maybe. Oh yeah. And we'll cut that off even. And that's no bueno right there. So, let me check my lines. I'm pretty sure I got some bigger stuff than this to fit in there better. Let me check my lines right quick. Okay. I had some that will fit better. A lot better. Going down into the tank being just the return, we'll just leave that like that. Cut, we don't have to cut it flush or nothing, because this end gets the fuel filter. Trash, trash, trash. Also, make sure you got enough to reach the opposite end of the tank. Actually, we can pull that down just a little bit more there. And yeah, like I said, this will be fine. Still a little loose, I guess, but at least it holds in. The other one, you could just pull right out. If that poses a problem, I'll get another grommet, a new grommet. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll at least be able to get her running today and see what happens. Hopefully today. Okay, next I guess we need to get the blower back up here. We'll mount the tank. Actually, we'll get the carburetor swapped over, then we'll mount the tank and do that. I cleaned all the crud off from under here, so Okay. Now let me grab the other carburetor, wherever I set that guy to. I only got so much sitting here. How the heck did I lose that carburetor? Oh, I got it right here. Do some comparisons. Yeah, even the fittings are the same. A lot of times when you get an aftermarket carb, this right here is different. That jet right there. Otherwise, yeah, we got the hole down here. That's a pulse hole for your pump from the engine. Otherwise, everything else looks the same. So that mounts up that way. We'll have to rob this. No, we won't. We got the gasket over here, right here. Okay. So yeah, that guy mounts up that way. So we'll be able, if we need to do any adjustments with that jet, we'll be able to. Sorry about that. I guess I had you out of frame there a little bit. But yeah. This is all going to have to go on. Where did... Yep, and that gasket will line up with that hole, so we're good there. Okay, good and snug. Hopefully we don't have to do much adjustment with the throttle. We might have to. Come on. There we go. Guy goes in there. Oh, that is hitting. We are hitting top of the intake piece there. What is the difference? I see no difference. We may end up rebuilding the old carburetor just because that is a slightly different size, maybe. I don't want to do any real I guess there is no... I could file that down just a little bit, that nub, because that doesn't affect anything. So that is definitely hitting right there. Let me see if there's something tweaked, maybe just a hair. Let me see if there's something tweaked here right quick. Everything's mounted flush that I could see. Oh, did you see that? You probably didn't see that. As soon as I loosen this up, that allowed that to return. The old one was rubbing at one time also. There's a little rub mark right there. So that old one was rubbing also. But still, you know what? There is plenty of meat on that. Okay. I can see that or not. I did file. It actually went down a lot easier than I expected. But that's good. Okay, let's see if that fits. Fits better. Okay, won't know till we totally tighten it down. Ah. It's one thing about having multiple items to have to, they're held on by the screws, is instead of the carb being held on, the intake being held on, everything being held on separately. Sometimes it gets a little hard holding everything all together at once on the gasket. Get everything lined up. Oh, hopefully I can get this in there. If not, we'll be taking her out again. Come on. It needs to slide in there just a little bit more. Okay, now we're hitting there. Okay, one more time. Okay. Clearance is just fine. What I ended up doing, I clearanced this piece instead of the throttle piece. I don't want to file anymore, plus it was just getting hard to, get in there decently without damaging anything else with the file. So I took a ball peen hammer and just tapped lightly right where that was rubbing on before on that part. Remember seeing that little rub spot. So yeah, we are definitely clearanced good now. So put the tank back on, hook the fuel lines up. I'm going to reuse the old spark plug. I'll show you that here in just a second. See if we can do this without. I wasn't able to get this hose off, so it's in the way. I don't like the way these wires stick down here though, either. Okay. I'm going to throw a couple zip ties on this, hold these wires into the loom better. Actually, well, yeah, I will. Let's see, I've got some. Nope, not those ones. Let me grab some zip ties. You know, if it's not one thing, it's another that never have readily available when you're ready for it. Let me grab a couple zip ties. I know it's just coming out of that one end down here, but I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple on in various spots so that it doesn't come out at all anywhere else. Okay. So those are just 2 screws on the back side here. Tell me, are you guys ones that like to just watch the process, or do you like narration and everything else over it? Whatever, busy talk, whatever you want to call it. Do you like when people constantly keep talking about what they're doing, or do you like to know what they're doing and then just watch them do it? I don't know. I was an instructor for about 4 or 5 years. Went through instructor school and did instructing duty and all that sort, and I've always been told, or that sort, dead time is not good. You want to constantly keep your audience entertained, if you will, whether the subject matter is entertaining or not, or even the instructor's entertaining or not. I don't know. But do you guys prefer talking as stuff is going without a lot of downtime? Or would you rather just know that, hey, this is what I'm doing, and then do it. Let me know, because yeah, I don't want to bore you to death. At the same time, I don't want to bore you to death. Okay, this was the return line going on the bigger fitting. Oh boy, that guy's on there good too. Okay, that's definitely not coming off. That's good. Cutting off a little bit there. Got plenty down in the tank, so I'm just cutting off a little bit of the excess just so it doesn't kink or whatnot up here. Can y'all still see what I'm doing? Hopefully. That's something else too. I got one camera, aside from moving you every other angle that I do. That's probably good too that I'm telling you what I'm doing, because you can't see what I'm doing. Who knows? Okay, fuel line's hooked up, tank is clean, carb is on, hopefully works. If not, we'll be cleaning up that other carb. I might go ahead and take these plastics. Actually, that's clean underneath. I'm not going to take these plastics off. When I get ready to clean this up, I'll just clean it as is, because I can actually see in here. A lot of times, especially on lawnmowers, not so much this, you get your mice and your dust and your dirt and your grass and everything else up inside here creating nests. But this looks really clean, so I'm not going to bother taking the plastics off to clean that up. So I think set this guy back up. Raise you guys up just a little bit. That's right, I was going to show you this plug here. This is the plug they sent. Literally a no-name plug. There is no name. It doesn't even say torch, you know, that they usually send with. Who knows, it might work fine. But like I said, that other plug worked, so we will clean it up. I thought I had it right here next to the other one. We will. I really need a bigger one. Well, I don't need a bigger workbench. I need to clean off my workbench. Let me get a wire brush right here. Something to hold with, because this is going to get hot. We will clean up this. This plug. Like I said, it's really not bad. It's just a little dirty. It was mostly wet. There isn't a whole lot of carbon buildup on here. So we will burn off what's there. We'll double check the gap. And we will reuse this old plug. It worked, right? Yes, I'm being careful watching where my stuff is here. I'm not burning any plastics or anything else. Knock off what we burned up. Alright, let me let that guy cool for a little bit. Because I'm definitely not touching that with my fingers. In the meantime, we'll throw the air cleaner stuff back on. Well, that spark plug is still warm. I just put my arm on it. I think I'll be fine though. It helps if you hit the nut there. Well, that guy slid out, that's why. There's got a captured nut in here that it goes into, and that nut slid out of its spot. Also, personal preference, I enjoy using power tools. It just is what it is. Of course, there is something to be said with putting stuff back in with, manually, depending on what you're going into. But if you get a drill or a screw gun or whatever you call it with the clutches, generally, actually these are, now like I said, these are going into nuts. If it was going into the plastic, I'd either do it by hand or I'd have it clear down on 3 or so that when you start getting some tension in there, instead of stripping out your plastics or whatever, the clutch and the drill does its thing. But these are going into actual nuts, so I'm good with going a little bit more. There we go. Guess I need to tighten these ones up now too. So, yes, if you don't know what you're doing, how to control your trigger or have a drill with a clutch on it, definitely do stuff by hand. Don't just ramrod stuff. This is not a impact gun. It's a drill, well, screw gun with the clutch to it. Impact gun would you definitely need to know your trigger discipline on that. But all right, choke works, moves good, trigger, throttle works good. Like I said, we might have to get in here and adjust the distance on this nut, because this one definitely was out further. Well, that's actually taken us to the full stop and to stop right here. So yeah, I don't think we need to make any adjustment, because that's not going to get any more throttle that way. And of course our idle stop right here. So yeah, we're good. There is no need for adjustment on that. Well, that spark plug's still warm. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to let that spark plug cool down. Actually, we can throw the air filter back up here. Yeah, this is definitely, who knows who made this filter. That is definitely a cheap rubber and a off red pink. I guess it's technically pink, but definitely more of a silicone seal, which is good. I don't know what it's like a pre-filter, but the filter goes in this way. There's just actually literally no need. I guess we could put that on there. Wouldn't hurt. The other one didn't have it, but who knows, it probably got thrown away at some point in time. Come on, get some. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna let that filter or that spark plug cool down. We'll check the gap and we'll put it back in, then we can put some fuel in. I'll get the cap here in a second. Cap's underneath. But yeah, let me let that spark plug cool down a little bit more. Then we'll meet you out here at the driveway. Bigger tank than I'm used to on the weed ears. And make sure we got enough in there to cover that fuel filter. Let's see, choke is on. Primer. And she's not wanting to prime. Seriously? Okay, you're not gonna believe this. You saw we swapped the lines one for one, same way they had them. It's actually reversed. The other line, it's priming good now, but the small fitting up here is the return, and the other one is the suction. You saw it. The other, I don't know who was in here before, but the other carburetor had the lines reversed. Heck, they even, well, I guess they technically didn't have the lines reversed, but anyway, choke's on, it's primed. Let's see what happens. Second pull, what do you know? Let's see, choke's off, ignition's on. Let's see if it starts back up. I don't want to say that's amazing, but that's pretty good. I don't know why this was tossed that well. I guess because lines were messed up and who knows what. But runs great. I'm gonna wipe this thing down now, make it look pretty, and this thing will be ready to sell. Use it a few times around here, of course, you know, in the meantime. But yeah, let me get this guy wiped down right quick and show you when it's all done. There you go. This one was really easy. Like I said, I got the kit off of Amazon. Some no-name company, whatever, who knows. You know, there's tons of them out there. You've seen them all. But came with the carburetor, the air filter spark plug, which I didn't use. What else? The fittings, or the hoses. You know, the grommet was the wrong size. And the, I guess the lines were right, but they were reversed on the original carb for some reason. Who knows why? Like I said, that might be why this thing was on the curb. Somebody else couldn't get it running again, because they just one little oversight on which was which. But yeah, that's about as good as I'm going to get that cleaned up. Some of those stains, some of the dirt's just in there. Pulls over easy, starts, you saw, first, second pull. Probably start first pull next time, who knows. But I'll definitely be playing with it around the yard here myself whenever I mow. These things are so much more powerful than the handheld ones. A lot of landscapers like this, so put this guy up for sale. I do have a buddy that his son mows yards, so he might have a cheap, inexpensive, free. I might just give it to him, who knows. He's a hard charging kid, you know, want to do yards and earn some money, you know, as opposed to just asking for stuff. So anyway, whole nother story. But yeah, point being, this was all of about 2 hours worth of my afternoon. Picked up off the side of the road somebody's trash, somebody else's treasure. So got a couple more weed eater and another lawnmower coming up next. Don't know which one I'll do next, first, whatever you want to call it. But hopefully here in the next week or two I'll get one of those done. But anyway, if you like what I'm doing, let me know. Likes, comments, you know, all that sort. But whatever you do, you know, do or don't, but do let me know whether you're liking what I'm doing here so far. I'm definitely not a professional. I'm obviously doing this out of my garage just for fun. I hate seeing this stuff go to landfills, especially when if it still works. That, and it's going to save people a crap ton of money. These things are a few $100s, if not more. I haven't even priced them. I just know that they are expensive. So if I can you know, save somebody $100, couple $100, and me earn $50, $100, who knows, for a couple hours worth of work and $20 worth of a carb kit and filter, all the better all around for everybody. Landfills, them saving money, me earning a little bit of side money. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.